Do you ever notice how many approval-seeking behaviors you actually have? Do you ever notice that you look for specific reactions out of people? You say something and you want them to laugh. You say something and you want them to acknowledge how smart you are. We all have approval-seeking behaviors, and there's nothing bad about seeking approval, just that this can be done in healthy ways and unhealthy ways. Growing up at one point, you were probably expressing yourself in a very open, genuine, authentic, and spontaneous way, either with your parents or kids at school or with teachers. And somewhere along the line, you probably got rejected. You got rejected indirectly or directly. And you could feel this purely emotionally, especially very young. You didn't have like the rational skills yet. You just sensed it. It was very instinctual. It was very subconscious, and it hurt. And a part of you just closed down. Part of you doesn't want to feel that for a whole bunch of reasons. And as we sort of get rejected, as we face like relational traumas, we build up a bunch of barriers that are inauthentic to us. We hide our authentic self behind various mechanisms inside of us that fire off automatically and unconsciously in order to protect us. To put it simply, we develop shields that are designed to defend us against pain while also get approval. I want to talk a little bit about why you seek approval. We actually need approval as human beings. We need validation from others. We actually need acceptance from others. We have social needs, and our species survives upon a lot of these needs. The thing is, though, is that we do not have to sacrifice our authenticity to get approval. We do not have to do things that are not genuine to us to get approval from people. This doesn't mean that everyone is going to approve of who we are genuinely. No, people will reject you. The thing is, though, is that you're going to attract people who are actually a genuine fit with you by radiating your authenticity. We also seek approval to feel safe. Safety in numbers. Back in our ancestral times, rejection meant death. When we were in a tribe of 100 to 150 people, if someone was rejected by the tribe, they're by themselves now. There's tigers and poisonous snakes and a lack of food. They got to make their own shelter, fire. It's really hard to survive in that context by yourself. There was safety in numbers. So that kind of wired into our species over time, and now we are the byproducts of that. Next, the reason why you seek so much approval is fear. Really at the core of it, it's like the fear of death. You don't want to die. You don't want to be rejected. You don't want to stand out. You're afraid of actually embodying your authentic self. All of this is because there's that underlying fear of being ostracized and kicked out of a group. It's the underlying fear of death. But this fear is an illusion. You're actually very safe to just be your authentic and genuine self. It's actually not very true that if you express yourself authentically, that you're gonna die. You're actually very safe to 100% express yourself very genuinely, which I'll talk about what that even means very shortly. But first, I want to talk a little bit about the problems with inauthenticity. So this is not a new age video of just be your authentic self. This has actual consequences in your life, in your relationships, in your well-being. And inauthenticity is very fundamentally uncomfortable. It's actually a form of suffering, and it's just unhealthy. Next, inauthenticity is not true to you. Do you actually want to live a life that's highly false to who you are? It's not genuine. Inauthenticity harms your life in the grand scheme of things, in the big picture. Inauthenticity puts you in the wrong direction in terms of your career, your relationships, your health. When you do inauthentic thing after inauthentic thing after inauthentic thing, you're going to end up with someone else's life. You're going to end up in a life that wasn't actually designed for you whatsoever. It's going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to be suffering. It's going to suck. When you do authentic thing after authentic thing after authentic thing, you're going to end up with the people who resonate with you the most, the work that resonates with you the most, the environments that resonate with you the most, the habits and patterns that resonate with you the most. So inauthenticity harms every single domain of your life. Authenticity is about truth. It's about a true expression of who you are being in the present moment. So if you're, let's say, low energy, you can be low energy. If you're high energy and you want to express excitement, express excitement. If you're frustrated, you can actually express some frustration. Authenticity is not like this fixed image of myself that I have in my mind. It's right now. It's who you're being right now. If you're tired, be tired. Don't continuously be some other way. And the problem with this is that unless you actually do some very deep spiritual purification on yourself, which I'm going to explain what that means. It's not like some witchcraft stuff a lot of people might think. If you do not do deep spiritual purification on yourself, your idea of authenticity is not authenticity. It's going to be highly inauthentic. It's going to be delusions and all those defense mechanisms that are just automatically popping up, right? That's like the norm for people who don't do deep spiritual purification. So authenticity correlates with being true to yourself. It's actually like who you're being in this present experience. Is it true to your state, your values, your thoughts? Are you open to this present experience? And are you grounded within it? These are a few core things that have to do with authenticity. Spiritual purification is about healing the traumas that exist inside of you that keep you closed. It's about evolving your consciousness so that you're not just this separate, isolated ego, but you're actually living in alignment with the flow of life. And that's not just poetry, that's your experience. That actually becomes your everyday living experience. Spiritual purification is about being honest with yourself and really looking into all the delusions that exist in your own mind, all the lies that you tell yourself, all the things you hide from yourself, your shadow, your inauthenticity, right? Your inauthenticity is a part of your shadow. All that stuff is just stuck in unconscious domains of your mind that you don't shine enough attention on. So spiritual purification is not like, I don't know, being in the sewers and doing strange rituals with like weird hoods on stuff. None of that kind of stuff. It's about purifying your own consciousness, purifying your own being, removing the delusions and the falsehoods and the trauma and the repressed emotions and processing it. This stuff can be quite tricky. That's it for this video. I'm offering one-to-one coaching. You can book a free call. Link is in the description. Take it easy.